Now the first question, the issue of Saudi going to Yemen is something that if one wants to look at it, if you don't look at it from the angle of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, you will be getting it wrong. Unless you look at it from the angle of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that is where you take the right position. Now, if you look at things, you see that the Shia, they are trying to promote their own religion. They are spending money in order to spread and promote Shiism. In Nigeria, in West Africa generally, in North Africa, in many places in the world, the Shia are promoting their religion of Shiism. And they are ready to also support those people who are trying to establish Shiism. In Yemen, for instance, we have the Houthi in a place called Su'ada. Su'ada is like a big province. So in it, we have the place called Damaj, where Sheikh Mukbil rahimahullah ta'ala had what his school before it was taken from them. And they were chased out of that place. A lot of brothers were killed because the Houthi who are Shia, they felt threatened with the presence of the people of Sunnah. Yeah, the people of Damaj, they were people of Sunnah. Damaj as a community, big community. So in Damaj, that is where you have what the school of Sheikh Mukbil rahimahullah ta'ala. Yes, there were some Shia living in that area, that is in the area as well. So the Shia, they felt threatened in that place. So, and that was why they fought Sheikh Yahya al-Ajuri and the students to the extent that they chased them out of that place, out of the place. So, and they were getting support from Iran in order to take the whole of Yemen. And this they almost achieved. They almost achieved. So Saudi Arabia felt that, okay, we have what, a government here. When the people of Yemen, they toppled, so to say, that of Ali Abdullah Salih, and his deputy became the president. So the president, the deputy was not a Shi'i man. So let us give him support to remain there as what? As the incumbent ruler. But the Houthi wanted him to go too. They want to take the whole of Yemen. At a point in time, they took Sana'a, the capital. So they took a lot of places. They took the whole of Sa'da, taking a lot of places, Udayda, many other places like that. So they wanted to take what control of all these places. And Iran was supporting them. Iran was giving them weapons in order to continue this. Now what support will the Sunni people give to what? To the people of Sunnah in what? In Yemen. So should we fold our arms and what? And let Yemen fall in the hand of Shia, Iran and its people. All the name that's what you don't want to dabble into the affair of other people. This is Iran already what? Give them support. The same thing they did in Syria, in Lebanon, anywhere they see that what their people, they will give them weapons. Smuggling weapons to even Nigeria, many other places like that. So the Sunni people, they fold their arms. For some people who are less concerned about religion, what matters to them is issue of what? Humanitarian whatever. They say nonsense. And this is what the disappointing thing about the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood, they are what? The most dangerous people now. What matters to them is what? Is leadership. They are ready to cooperate with anybody. They can cooperate with the devil. As long as what? They are going to get to power. And this is what a lot of brothers do not understand. When some people they speak on some issues, we feel bad. What are you saying? So this, they will be attacking the Saudi government. Now ask them, what the Saudi government are going to do? Is it going to favor the Ahlul Sunnah or is it going to what? It's not going to favor the Ahlul Sunnah. So they should leave the Houthi people killing the Ahlul Sunnah in what? In Yemen. All in name that what they don't want to interfere. And they see Iran giving support to these people. So the Muslim Brotherhood, they are in support of this. They will be criticizing the Saudi government. And those people who do not have what facts, they will also be supporting them. They will be supporting them. So the issue of Yemen is something that has to do with what? Sunnah and Shia. Sunnah and Shia. Those who believe Abu Bakr is a kafir, Umar is a kafir, Uthman kafir, those who believe Quran is incomplete. How even those who believe that Jibril made a mistake in giving what? Al-Quran to. So this is what? A problem between two religions. Tashayyu and Islam. Tashayyu and what? Islam. So if the kafir or the kuffar in Iran are giving support to their brothers in Yemen, so you are saying what? The Ahlul Sunnah, they should keep quiet. Some people say, okay, the Saudi is because of what? Because of their own power. They don't want to lose their own power. Should they lose their own power? Just give us who can promote at-Tawheed the way the Saudi government is promoting Tawheed. Go to any country in the world, where do they promote Tawheed like Saudi Arabia? Is it Egypt? Is it Tunisia? Is it Yemen? Kuwait, Qatar? Where? If Saudi is not upright, not like any other country, we shouldn't make that mistake. If they say Saudi has a lot of force in religion, don't make that mistake of comparing Saudi Arabia to any other country. Some countries, if they are allowed to marry Saudi Arabia, you practice or they will allow people to do grave worship in there. You go to Medina now, the security men will not allow you to do grave worshipping of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Which country would undo the issue of what haram today or the haramain that will not promote grave worshipping, that will not promote shirk? No country. Because other countries are lenient when it comes to the issue of what? Religion. They are lenient. They allow people to do. And that's why those who are saying that the two haram should be internationalized. What they are calling for is that what? The grave worshippers and those who are not, they should sit down and talk on how to do. So if people are not been allowed before to be rubbing their body against the grave of Islam. So now, after it has been internationalized, the world give permission. So those who are saying this, the brotherhood, and that's why I said they are evil people. When they attack people, don't make that mistake. They are not attacking because of religion. They are attacking because of what? They want power. They are not different from PDP, APC, and the likes. But they are worse. PDP, APC, they are what? They are doing politics. The brotherhood, they are doing politics in the name of what? Islam. They are deceiving the masses with Islam in order to get. They are the same people like the people who are talking about. But they are worse. They are deceiving the people in the name of Islam. Take for instance, before Morsi got to power, what have they been saying? They've been condemning Mubarak that he was not practicing the deen. He was not doing this, implementing the Sharia. But when they got there, They were worse. I'm talking about practicing the religion now. Nightclub, this nightclub, during the time of Mubarak, they'll ask them to renew their license or something like that, every 2 years. During the time of Morsi, said what? Every 3 years they renew their. Which one is worse? So which Sharia have they practiced then? The Shia were allowed into Iran, into Egypt during the time of Morsi. The Shia were allowed into. They were doing all these registration things like that. For about 30 years during the time of Mubarak, Shia could not come into Egypt to do anything. Yes, Mubarak was not doing it for religious sake. He was doing it for what? Political reason. But it benefited Islam. But you that is claiming Islam, during your time you have what? Agreements with the Shia, and they are coming into Egypt. And that's why some fools in Saudi Arabia, they will be attacking their own government. They will be attacking their own government that is promoting Tawheed and what? And they will be praising the governments that are promoting things like this. I don't want to mention a particular country, but there are some countries that are financing grave worshipping. Now when you go to that country now, grave worshipping is part of what? The ibadah. Part of what the government is spending on. Then a Saudi scholar, so to say, will be attacking his own government that does not give what? That does not give room to grave worshipping, and will be praising a government that is paving way for grave worshipping. That is brotherhood for you. The most important thing to them is what? Is power. If they know that this government, how can we criticize the government? Let's criticize the government in the name of Islam. They criticize the government in the name of Islam, so that they can deceive the people. Just go and look at the history of what I'm saying. You see. And that's why when Safar al-Awali recently wrote his book of 3,000 plus pages, he was praising some governments that were promoting homosexuality, that gave permission license to homosexuality, and you are condemning your own country that will not allow such. If somebody is caught practicing such, the person will be dealt with. And they will make a lot of lies. For instance, Saudi Arabia does not have embassy in Israel. Israel does not have embassy in Saudi Arabia. Some of the countries that these people, I mean some of the Saudi fools that they are glorifying, they have embassies in Israel. Israel has embassies in their own country. They have a lot of military relationship with Israel. And you people in Saudi Arabia, you are attacking your own government that doesn't have this with them. And you are what? You are praising the governments of other countries that have what? This type of relationship with Israel. So, and that's why we have to open our eyes. Don't let some people who are interested in power deceive us with Islam. They deceive us in the name of Islam, but what they are interested in is what is in power. So they are worse than the political parties that we have, because these political parties are not deceiving you. You have APC, you have PDP, you have this. They will come to you. This politics, they make things clear to you. But somebody will come out today in Nigeria and say what? We want to form so and so that the Muslim is lie. It's a lie. They know they can't change anything for Islam in this country. They know they can't change it. You can see some of them who are partaking in it. They are what? They've been swallowed by the system. But they will come and deceive you in the name of Islam. They need your vote to get to power. But they know the only way they can what? They can catch you and get you is to lie to you in the name of Islam. And when they get there, they themselves are what? Are destroyed. So this is brotherhood. Brotherhood will condemn any person that what they want to snatch power away from. And they praise the worst person as long as the person submit themselves or himself to them. Just look at this critically, what I'm saying. So the issue of Saudi Arabia, even if the Saudi government wants to use that to retain their power, other countries are also doing it. But the issue is, should the Saudi government fold the arm and allow what the Shia who have made attempts to take Lebanon, to take Syria, Yemen, they should take everything so that what? They will have a way of entering into Mecca and the likes. You know, in Saudi Arabia, in the eastern part of it, they have Shia living there. The oil of Saudi Arabia is in that place, majorly. So Iran is giving the Shia support so that what they can destabilize Saudi Arabia. So we should understand things like this. Even if Saudi government is doing in order to protect their own power and authority, it pays us as what? As Ahlul Sunnah. It pays us as what? As Muslims to give them support. When you attack them and you antagonize them, what you are saying is that they should keep quiet and fold their arms so that what? Iran takes all the countries around Saudi Arabia. So, and eventually if they happen to defeat defeat Saudi government, so to say, so that they can introduce Shiism in Mecca, introduce Shiism in Medina, so that every place can what? Become the place of shirk. That is what we are saying indirectly. So وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ أَلَّا لَا تَعْدِيلُ اعْدِلُوا أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى. The hatred that we have for Saudi should not blindfold us. And those who are trying to blindfold us with this are the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood, they can team up with anybody. They and the Shia, they are what, 5 and 6. You can't see any of the leaders of the Brotherhood that will condemn Shia. Starting from Hassan Banna to Hassan Qudaybi to Umar Tilmisani, down to Mashur, what was it called, the fourth or the fifth one, Mahdi Akif, down to this Mahmoud Izza. All of them, who says good, they all praise the Shia. All these are what in their books. They don't have problem with the Shia. Those that we have problem with the Shia are the Sururiyun. These are the factions of Muhammad bin Surur, that man from Syria who went to Saudi Arabia. So when he got to Saudi Arabia, he got some of the Salafi orientation, but mixed with what he has borrowed and learned from Sayyid Qutb. So Sayyid Qutb Araki, that vine for activism, plus the Salafia of a thing that he got from Saudi Arabia when he got there. So merge them together. Then this produced people like Salman Auda, Safar al-Hawali, Nasir Umar, Aid al-Qarni, Muhammad al-Arifi. So all these people are products of Muhammad Surur. So they preach Aqidah for you, but when it comes to the issue of government, they criticize the government as if there is no any other thing that is more important than what in Aqidah than the issue. Well, alhamdulillah, the issue of government is clear in the books. You have Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari, all this is well addressed. There is no point they will raise about the government that the hadith has not watched. But the problem they are suffering from is that what? They are suffering from the hierarchy of a thing that they learned from Muhammad Surur. So we should, when these are what? The other side of Brotherhood. So, but generally speaking, Brotherhood will condemn Shia. No. They are friends. They are brothers. And these are well documented in the books of the leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood. So when you see somebody who belongs to Brotherhood, or even if he says he doesn't belong to Brotherhood, is condemning Shia at the same time, is always condemning the authority all the time. Know that that person directly or indirectly, has been what affected by the thinkings of Muhammad Surur. So this is on that. Allah.
Are they Muslim or Catholic?
Now it is clear from when you want to know whether the Shia are Muslims or not. They have different sects of Shia. There are some people that their own Shiism is just that they prefer Ali to Abu Bakr. They believe that Ali should have been the next leader after the Prophet ﷺ. But they take what has happened as what has happened. But they believe that no, Abu Bakr was not supposed to be the next person. But these are called the Zaydiyah. But later, these people, they also mixed with other Shia and what they got was. Like the Husi in Yemen, they were supposed to be Zaydis. But now they are what? They are Ibn Ashariya. They are the 12th Shia. People who have the same orientation with Al-Khumaini. You know, Al-Khumaini wrote his book and he was cursing Abu Bakr, calling them as idols, calling Abu Bakr Umar as what? As idols of Quraysh. Huh? So Khomeini believed that this Quran we are reading is incorrect. So such a person, his Aqidah is clear. And the one who says the Quran we are reading is incorrect, they kafir. So those who share the same Aqidah with Khomeini are kuffar. But those who only limit their own thing to what? So they believe that Ali is better than Abu Bakr or Umar. We say they are what? They are heretics. They are not kuffar. But the Shiism now in the world, there is no Zaydiyah anymore. The people that you call Zaydiyah today, they are Rawafij. There is no difference between them and what? And the Ithna Ashariya, the Rawafij. No difference. And that's why they can work together. They can work together. All of them are working together now. Khomeini, the Shia in Iran, the 12th Shia, they are working with the so-called Zaydiyah Husi in Yemen, working with the same with the people called Alawi in what? In Syria. So all of them are coming together now in order to fight the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And that's why it is very, very disheartening to hear some people attacking Saudi. We are not saying Saudi is what? Is perfect. There are a lot of atrocities that Saudi government will commit. Just as you as an individual, you have some what? You have a lot of shortcomings that you also do. But for you to neglect and trivialize the good things that these people are doing in order to protect the right Aqidah, wallahi, this is what? Sheer injustice. They will tell a lot of lies that Saudi Arabia sold Palestine to the British or to the Americans or so. All these are lies. They are lies. Go back to history, you see those things. But who are those preparing and cooking all these things? This is the work of the Brotherhood or the Uthman Turks. The Uthman Turks. Those people who are ruling before. They will be those cooking that thing or the Brotherhood. And when you look at the Brotherhood and the Uthman Turks, they are friends. The Brotherhood can team up with anybody as long as what is going to protect their interests. You can't say this is the Aqidah of the Brotherhood. No. If you say they are Shaira, they are Shaira. Maturidiyya, Mu'tazila, Shia, Sufi, anything you can think of, they are. What is important to them is what? Is power. Power. They can team up with anybody to finish you, to eradicate you. So and that's why their danger is something that we have to watch. We have to be careful of. Don't let us trivialize this matter. So Allah alam. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka.
Alhamdulillah.